Watch this video. You know, I like Coffeezilla. I don't know. Yeah.
Don't call it the Cuban Missile Crisis.
And I don't know if I really. God damn it. I was just trying to talk just to talk. Kind of make longer content. It's gonna be weird. I usually like reacting to stuff naturally. Whatever. This goes on YouTube. You're watching my first reaction thing to a video. So here we go.
Don't call it the Cuban Missile Crisis. Even that didn't end as badly as this one did. Mark Cuban
lost everything.
promoted a crypto that has now blown up in his face thanks to some degenerate crypto farming. The coin is called Titan. It went from $4 to $60 inside of a week and then immediately crashed to less than a penny in a few hours.
When was this made? A year ago. Yeah, that's all right. Listen, I'm telling you, I always didn't like crypto, but everyone kept like, they kept hating on me, kind of gaslight me.
Of course,
I was wrong.
Mark Cuban in
crypto and NFTs especially. At least crypto has like Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is like, and Ethereum, they're somewhat like real. NFTs, every single NFT is just scam. It's obviously a scam.
Tweeted this.
They won't be good. NFTs won't be good until they actually like you can do something with them. You can't do anything with them. And you cannot own a moment in time. Just not like can't legally own. Makes no sense.
Got hit like everyone else. Crazy part is I got out, thought they were increasing their TVL enough. Then bam. More like boom. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DeFi. Now, in the aftermath, people lost millions, maybe more. Memes are being made to memorialize the event. And Mark Cuban is curiously suddenly calling for a stablecoin regulation. He says in a statement to Bloomberg, there should be regulation to define what a stablecoin is and what collateralization is acceptable. You know, I obviously agree with this idea of stablecoin regulation, but I gotta admit, losing all your money and then calling for regulation, it's a bit like trying to ban gambling right after you got cleaned out in Vegas. I mean, you might be right. Bad timing. That's all I'm gonna say. But honestly, I think this is a good time to talk to all you degenerates out there, okay? Trying to yield farm your way to the moon. Now look, we've all been there. You got that stimmy check, and you're looking at index fund returns.
Oh, you can tell this is from 2021.
8 to 12% a year if you're lucky. Cash is trash. You can't keep it in fiat. So then you look at crypto.
Oh, no.
Boom. 100% gains, baby. Over here, 12,000% gains. Guys, crypto is a whole new level of risk reward that the world is really still getting exposed to and used to. It's just gains are ratcheted up. And so are losses, though, to be honest. People don't even open up Binance or KuCoin for anything less than 200% APY. And it's got y'all all kinds of messed up.
Am I stupid? I need to be watching this with someone smart because, you know, never mind. Wait, what's APY? Bro, why does APY, annual percentage yield? Oh, I'm stupid. Never mind. You know what? No one can roast me in the comments because at least I didn't buy into crypto.
Stop, okay? Even people like Mark Cuban. Like, here's a guy who goes up on Shark Tank and he's buttoned up, right? He's asking questions you'd expect from a millionaire. You know, what's your cash flow? Who are your competitors? What's your projected growth? You know, in other words, he's a rational businessman. He's been around the block. But apparently, when Mark goes home, gets in front of that MacBook, starts checking out these DeFi projects, man becomes a filthy degenerate. These were the kinds of yields Mark was looking at. Here's a liquidity pool promising 347% APY. Here's another one promising 133,000% APY. And here's another one offering, you know, just a low 4 billion% APY if you put money with them. Now, if you're thinking, there's no way Mark Cuban would be, taken in by such ridiculous returns, right? Clearly, these are scams. Well, you'd actually be right. He didn't go in for the 4 billion% or even the 300%.
Fair.
Instead, according to the blog where he shilled this coin called Titan, he said he got an annualized return of about 206%, guys. Don't worry, we're not talking about anything crazy here. Just 206% on his money per year.
Yeah.
Now, this is completely nuts. So today, we're going to break down what went wrong with the crypto.
I wonder what's... You can't predict that number, though, can you? I was going to ask what's Bitcoins, but I mean, if someone knew what that was, then how... I don't know, everyone would be rich. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Fuck, I'm new to this reacting thing. I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, Mark Cuban, he's a billionaire, right? But he made all of his money from like one deal. I think he invented Twitch before it was Twitch. He pretty much invented, I think it was live streaming on the internet. But I don't know, it wasn't as good. I just watched a video on this. Anyways, he sold it to Yahoo, I think. Oh my god, I'm probably going to get all this wrong. He sold it to some company, I think it's Yahoo, and then ended up selling his stocks he got from selling it like right away, or at the right time. And he became rich off of that. And I think shortly after, he bought the Dallas Mavericks. And he's actually done a pretty good job with them. And he's been making money on that every year too, just getting richer. So it's like on Shark Tank, even if he's so much richer than the other sharks, even if he like bought every single pitch that came his way for, like 100,000, 50,000, whatever it is, he bought every single one and all of them flopped, he'd lose like a few million, which is nothing to him. Which is crazy. He could literally just buy every single one, and it would mean nothing to him. Which is insane. Insane. It's almost like, why is he even there? I think you're correct. Yeah, I think I am too. It was something like that. And so, lucky. I mean, he had an idea, and it worked out. I think he got lucky on how much he made. It's fair to say. So I always think it's funny when people are like, oh, he's so rich. He must have like super valuable brain. Well, yeah. He got all of his money from selling one thing. So I do think he's a better businessman than most people, but because he's a billionaire doesn't make him more like savvy than most people, or at least millionaires or whatever.
Crypto Mark promoted in this blog post that he posted only a few days ago. It's called "The Brilliance of Yield Farming, Liquidity Providing, and Valuing Crypto Projects," June 13th. In this post, he describes the degenerate behavior, but the token we're going to talk specifically about, where he lost the money, is called Titan. But it's actually part of a 2-token system that makes up an algorithmic stablecoin called Iron. The 2 tokens are Iron and Titan. They both collapsed. Now, you should already be familiar with the concept of stable coins from our Tether.
Thank you.
Remember that collateral is the thing backing the token. So, like, let's say I give you a token that's supposed to be worth $1. My collateral could be like $1 that I hold in reserve, right? Instead of that, Titan admits that it's only partially collateralized and uses algorithmic minting and burning protocols to maintain a soft peg to the dollar. Now, if you're already
they spend most of the dollar?
I'm just going to put this on screen for you to read from them. This is how the Iron...
Is it like what FTX did, where they just spent the money instead of holding on to it? Except in this, they don't straight up lie about it. They only spend part of it.
Titan token works. Now, while you read this and try to parse out what this says, let me just tell you the obvious.
It's just taking your money.
The basics of this are very complex, which is something I should have addressed a long time ago, but I might as well address now. I'm going to say this once. Extreme complexity in finance is bad. Okay? As an investor, really as anyone, you should avoid them. Why? Because the less you understand something, ladies and gentlemen, the more you can misunderstand the risks. Okay? Like,
true.
Imagine investing is like whitewater rafting. It's a rewarding dangerous activity with twists and turns. But if you know where the rocks are, you can be safe. You can avoid some of the pitfalls. It's always going to have a level of danger.
Why would
if you know what's going on in the river, you're going to be fine. But imagine you go in completely blind. You don't know where anything is. You don't know the river layout. You're going to wash up on the rocks, bleeding, wondering what happened. This is the case with investing. If you do not understand something in investing, you're going to smash into those rocks and it's going to be a problem. This is why Warren Buffett frequently says that he doesn't invest in a lot of companies. It's not because he thinks they're bad. It's because he doesn't fully understand them, according to him. By the way, not only is it true that complicated financial schemes can hide fraud, it's also true that just because you didn't fully understand it, things can get out of balance. This is actually what happened in the 2008 financial.
I don't like when people quote Warren Buffett because I feel like all people who kind of know how to invest always quote him. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Shit never works out for them. All those people quoting him all the time all their stuff never works. They think they're him, but they're not. What was I gonna say? Another thing about that. Oh yeah, a lot of my friends, and I'm sure a lot of your friends too, that talk about crypto or trying to make it make themselves sound so smart and stuff. They're not talking anymore. They're not talking anymore. The only good ones are Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Financial crash.
Unless you bought a bunch and it's sold right away, you make no long-term money on that shit. NFTs too. I know a few people about NFTs. Dumbest shit ever.
Subprime lending led to MBSs and then CDOs.
I'm hindsighting the crypto thing, but NFT.
The fact that the system
right
was
when it was
broken,
happening, I was telling them they're dumb.
People were still continuing to lend loans they should have never lent. Had things been
I'll learn more
clear,
about crypto.
This might not.
We'll watch until we know more about crypto, and each video we watch, I'll be less and less uneducated in everything I say.
Not have been a problem. And so the same thing applies to crypto. If you don't understand these tokens, please do not invest in them.
Yeah.
So where does that leave us with the Iron Titan token? The token actually was only the beginning of the problem. Mark Cuban was also engaging in something called yield farming through something called QuickSwap. It's just more degenerate, okay? According to a blog where he promoted Titan a few days before the collapse, he said, quote, "I'm a small LP for QuickSwap. I provide two different tokens, DAI and Titan, that enable QuickSwap to offer swaps between these two tokens." So now, not only are you dealing with sort of a shaky algo stablecoin, add a little bit of DeFi yield farming to the mix, and ladies and gentlemen, we have a recipe for disaster.
Bro, I don't know what DeFi is. Wait. Oh, that sounds familiar. I don't know what yield farming is. Is that when you have a PC and it's mining? That's what the hell is yield farming? Is that just buying and selling right when it goes up a little bit? I don't know.
Even Mark Cuban admits he didn't do his due diligence on this before writing his blog post about it.
Yeah.
He says, "Even though I got rugged on this, it's really on me for being lazy. The thing about DeFi is that it's all about revenue and math, and I was too lazy to do the math to determine what the key metrics were." Which all leads us to June 16th. Only days after Mark Cuban writes this about Titan and drew tons of new investors to the project. And literally one day after Iron.Finance, the people who create these little coins, itself had claimed that Titan was a bear-proof asset.
What? What's that mean?
Sweet irony.
I'm not stupid. I just don't know what this means.
It's like being on the Titanic.
Oh, like a literal bear. Is that what that means? Okay.
So anyways, on June 16th, not to rub it in, the unthinkable happened. A few people start selling Titan, and it led to everyone trying to run for the door at the same time. When that happened, Titan collapsed to zero.
It's almost like that
along
happens
with
all
Iron
the time
as well. People really hadn't considered that maybe what made Titan make so much money on the way up would also make it crash just as hard, as a post on Reddit would explain best.
For this?
This is how the protocol was designed. Positive feedback loop on the way up, negative feedback loop on the way down. Boring technical jargon in the middle, and then it says, this creates both massive deflation and massive inflation, depending on which way the supply-demand is going. It seems that this bear-proof asset hadn't considered the idea that maybe their math wasn't as solid as they thought. Well, millions of people lost all of their investment.
That's their own fault.
Ironically, Mark may have actually been one of the few people who saved some of his money from disaster, because in his response, he had said, I got hit like everybody else. Crazy part is I got out. Thought they were increasing their TVL enough. Here, I think he's referring to the fact that he got out of the DeFi yield farming, but was still holding some of the Titan, which went to zero. Some clearly didn't get out at all, such as this post from Reddit. He says, what the hell happened? I put $23,000 today on Matic Titan LP token for 1 billion% APR this morning, and this was so trash.
Oh my God.
I went down from 23K to 67 cents. How does your coin drop from $60 down to zero? You better fix this soon. Yeah, this really happened to this person. I don't know how you help them. I don't know how you...
How do you have so much fucking money just to put 20... I feel like he doesn't have that much money. He just like spent all of his savings on a random coin. How? That's just what crypto does. It's what crypto does. Listen, people in the back of their heads, they're like, oh, this shit's going down, man. Like, it's eventually going to plummet in like a day. Everyone thinks that. And everyone's just thinking of just selling right when it gets to a certain point to make your money back. And right when people see it goes down a low, everyone's just like, sell. And all of them do it. All of them do it. I guarantee you, like, Bitcoin and Ethereum are the only good ones, but isn't Bitcoin going down by a lot? It's like half of what it was. And I wouldn't be surprised if one day it hit zero.
Explain to people that 1 billion% APR is automatically going to be a scam. I think it can be answered using a comment I got.
And then a lot of these, like, lesser known ones, you know, it's either a... Okay, first of all, don't... This is what I think, as someone who knows very little about it. Like, a big investor, or whatever you want to call it, puts a lot of money in it. And, you know, people are like, oh, shit, okay. And more people start putting it in. And the investor takes all his money out and drops it. And then everyone else takes all their money out. And a bunch of people loses money. But a lot of the isn't it like... A lot of them are scams, and the big investor or investors at the start were actually the people who made it. And that was their whole plan at the start. Some shit like that. I don't know. Or some of them just take their money straight up and don't let you sell. Something like that. I don't know. They're all scams.
On Twitter. This is in response to everything collapsing. It says, well, even Mark Cuban got rugged. Pretty normal in DeFi. It's risky, but you can make insane money with Ponzi's. Now, I don't know exactly when we all stopped thinking Ponzi schemes were bad, but I feel like there's this new logic that maybe I should give an obligatory bad idea to, which is that people think, if only I get in on the ground floor. Oh, it's a Ponzi, sure, but you know, if I just get in on the ground floor, it'd be fine.
That's what people think. Some people are good at it, actually, though. They make money from that.
To the moon.
Like, this is obviously pure nonsense, and for the health of your bank account, stay away from anybody who tells you this. Meanwhile, the lovely team over at Iron Finance, the people behind this whole thing, they're ready to push another one of their stable coins. They say in response to this giant collapse, quote, we have learned a great deal from the incident, and while there was nothing that could be fixed in the current system, we will continue our journey with more products in the future. These guys don't even say sorry. You can control F sorry in their post-mortem. They don't care. They don't care about wrecking you guys. They go, hey, we're going to start a new one like tomorrow. Total clowns. Like, and I would say no one's going to trust these people again, but honestly, crypto is the perfect place for criminals to launch new careers. Off topic, guys. Anyone hear about that new Brian Rose DeFi? Anyways, that's kind of besides the point. I just hope this serves as a cautionary tale. Listen, Titan was $1 billion token. That's $1 billion. What
does that mean?
Value that was just blinked out of existence. And, you know, for those of you who are looking for those mouth-watering yields, it's a good lesson.
Was it $1 billion because of the APY being like 1,000,000,000% or like 200%? Not because people put that much money in? Or I think it's because that.
That always, the old saying, turns out to be true in the long run. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And also remember, it might be fun to play high-stakes poker, you know, at the big boy table. But if you don't got it like that, like, don't bother, right? When Mark Cuban loses his investment, you know, in Titan, it doesn't matter. Not to judge. Most of y'all don't have flying Lamborghinis in my audience. You got to play a different hand.
Like he does.
When you get wiped out, it's a much bigger deal So unless you have a flying Lambo, I banish you from investing
That's
in
good
things
advice.
you don't understand.
That's
Please,
great
guys,
advice.
Be safe out there. Keep your money safe. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
And in fact, that was a good video. In fact, with crypto, I'm happy. I'm just now starting to understand it because even the people that thought they understood because they did some research got burned. Everyone got burned. Like, even if you understand that shit so well, you got burned. So many of them were meant for that purpose in the first place. The really, really good people made money, I guess, but yeah, that was a good video. Good video. Sweet, sweet. We'll watch another one later. Like Coffeezilla.